All right, Tay, what do we got next, my friend?
So next we got to do a preview of the entire NBA over the next couple of episodes. You're going to hear about us and how we feel about every single team in the association.
All right.
We're going to start with the Pacific Division, and then we're going to eventually move out east, hopefully finishing with our champion, Boston Celtics.
Why are we doing the East? You said all those teams suck. We should just do the Celtics and move on, right?
Yeah, we should. But we're starting with the West. We're starting with the Pacific Division. We're starting with a team that's had a new rebrand, the Los Angeles Clippers.
Oh, jeez.
I got to ask you, how do you feel about the Los Angeles Clippers offseason, Travis?
What kind of question is that? What am I supposed to say? I'm so scared of the Clippers. Kawhi never plays. James Harden can't be counted on. Paul George is gone.
Yep.
I mean, how do I feel? Good for them. They have a new arena that I'll never go to. Like, what do you mean? What am I supposed to feel like? I like their coach. Outside of that, I don't like anything.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm pretty low on this team. I don't know if I'm as low as the sports books are on this team. FanDuel has them at 40.5 as their line this season.
Wow.
After they won 51 games last season. I don't know if Paul George makes that big of a difference.
There could be a gambling opportunity there.
There could be. So, I think this team isn't good. I know that. They're the Clippers. No. They're the B team in Los Angeles, as Paul George said on his podcast. They're not very good. I don't like really what I saw in return for them. It's going to be one of those years where, Derrick Jones is going to have to be big for them. Terrence Mann is going to have to take a huge leap on the offensive end for them.
Yeah.
They're going to need a lot more offense because we know Kawhi is not going to stay healthy.
No.
James Harden is going to get halfway through the season and probably get disinterested with the team.
Right.
As he normally does. And, they really don't have any other guys that are guys to answer after that. So we'll see how they do. I wanted to know, do you think this team is a playoff team?
I don't think so. I mean, listen, in talking this out with you, when you first, what was that win total, 40.5? Is that what you said?
Is what
so
FanDuel
essentially
has.
It's a 500 team is what Vegas is telling you. When you first said that, my initial reaction was, okay, I think they're going to be better than 500.
Mm-hmm.
And so it could be a gambling opportunity there. I'm just not going to get involved.
Yeah.
I would probably bet the over.
Yep.
But I'm not going to get involved because, listen, they could be a 500 team.
Yeah.
They could be. The team, I'm really high on out west. I can't wait till we preview them so I can talk about them because I don't give a rat's ass about the Clippers. But I am big on the Rockets.
Yeah.
I think the Rockets, forget the future being bright. I think their future is this season.
Is now, yeah.
Yeah, and I correctly predicted the Magic last season, if you remember.
Yep.
I'm off them. Even though I like what they're doing, I'm on the Rockets now. The Rockets are my new love interest where I'm like, they're ready to go here.
Mm-hmm.
They were 500 last season.
Right.
And remember, Tay, because we talked about it, they damn near got into the postseason. They were in that play-in-ville range, remember? So I could see the Clippers kind of being there, but not not with the bright future, but just like I could see the Clippers hanging on, bottom of the barrel-ish of like play-in-ville, and maybe they get in a play-in situation, maybe not.
Yeah,
I'm not going to bet this team. They could absolutely end up 500. To answer your question, I'll say no. They're not a playoff team.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring up their future because when I was looking at this team, that's all I could think about,
Yeah.
right? Like, obviously, we know they got to sell tickets. They got to put seats in butts, you know what I mean? I mean, butts and seats. With Steve Ballmer, obviously, paying for that stadium, whatever, privately funded, that's a lot of money, you know what I mean?
Right.
In order, he's got to get a return on his investment, which is why he obviously opted to keep Harden, why he obviously wanted to keep Paul George and Kawhi years ago, hoping that he could keep Paul George in Los Angeles, and that obviously didn't turn out.
He was hoping he had won by now.
This team has to find a way to get draft picks and get young talent that's going to come in. They're shooting their shot at literally every flamed out young player in the league. They brought in Josh Primo. They got Kevin Porter Jr. to come to this team. Kai Jones is now a part of this team.
Yeah.
They're really taking it. Bones Highland, obviously, kind of not flamed out a little bit with the Denver Nuggets, is a part of this team. They're looking for one of these two. I wouldn't even say one. At least two of those guys to turn into good, decent NBA players who have the off-court distractions kind of stop for them and be just great NBA players and figure it out. So they got to figure out a way to, figure out this draft situation. But is there any bets other than, their win-loss total that you're looking at for this team that you like?
Not a damn one. I wouldn't bet this team with your money and your paper's long. I'll say this. Hearing you kind of describe the Clippers situation, like the reality of it, it sounds identical to the Lakers. Now, the Lakers have bigger stars.
Right.
But better bigger and better.
Yeah.
Bron and AD are better than anything that these damn Clippers can trot out.
Yeah.
But they are they face sort of the same conundrum of aging stars who keep you relevant, but you're not beating any of those top dogs in your conference, right? So there's no championships there to be had for either LA team as far as I'm concerned. And you got to be concerned about the future. I mean, the Clippers and the Lakers, future-wise, are a mess.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting time in your old stomping grounds.
It is.
Friend.
I personally do have a bet that I like, and it's Harden leading the league in assists. It's at plus 1,000.
Right. Yeah.
And here's my thing, right? Okay, he was fourth in the NBA in assists last season, right?
Yeah.
You're losing Westbrook, so you're losing a bench player that, obviously is a great facilitator and things like that. You're losing Paul George, who also is a good facilitator and creator for the team as well.
Yeah.
We know that their bench is going to be like Chris Dunn, Bones Highland. I don't know who they're going to end up, KPJ. One of those three guys are going to end up being their backup point guard.
Yep.
Not all great facilitators, you know what I mean? Mostly guys who can go get their own bucket or, whatever. Just play defense with Chris Dunn. I think that Harden takes this opportunity to try to be like himself in Houston and be a main on-ball guard again and play a lot of minutes, which they're going to need in order to win games. And we know that he's competitive. That's one thing that he's going to do. He will try to win games for his team and will them the wins. So I could see him possibly – I might sprinkle a few dollars. I'm not hard on it, but Harden being the league leader in assists.
Good luck with that bet. This is what I would tell you. The only bet I will ever make in my life again, ever, because I've lost way more money than I want to admit on James Harden's punk ass, is this. If I could bet who will lead the league in VIP section appearances in nightclubs, it would be on James Harden. Maybe I'd sprinkle a little something on Jordan Poole, too. If I could bet on who leads the league in bottle service, it would be James Harden. Other than that, I ain't interested. What's next?
Okay, look, I got to ask you about their rebrand because I know we got to do this really quickly before we talk about the WNBA.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Clippers rebrand? Obviously, these are the new jerseys that I'm showing here on the screen.
Yeah.
They also have a new logo as well, which I'll flash on the screen really quickly.
What is that, a ship?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So no one knew that the Clipper was a ship until this season. So
all right.
What do you think about this rebrand, Travis?
I mean, I like it better than the team. I remember like when I was growing up, Clippers uniforms were ugly. The team sucked. There was nothing good. And this at least is kind of cool. I like all of it. I like the uniform. I like the newer logo with the ship. I kind of dig it. I like the rebrand. I'm sure the new building's going to be off the hook, too. It's just a shame what product they have, on the floor.
I agree. It's dope.